All right, guys, so we're going to do the footer. That's the last section of the page. But before we do that, I want to deal with this navigation. Now, it works. If I click on features, it brings me down to the features. If I click on testimonials, it brings me down there. But it basically teleports me down. So I want to have more of a smooth scroll effect. And with Tailwind, it's extremely simple. All we have to do is on the HTML element is add the class of scroll dash smooth. And now if I click on features, now it will just bring me down there smoothly. Testimonials, same thing. All right, so pretty cool. And it's not even, I mean, it's pretty difficult with CSS. I mean, it's pretty easy with CSS now as well. It used to be difficult when we would have to use like jQuery and stuff to get this functionality. All right, so back down to the bottom here, we're going to add the footer. All right, so under the last section, say this is the footer, which is pretty obvious with a footer tag. And we're going to add the class of BG-dark blue 2. Now, I'm just going to keep it dark even in light mode, so it'll look, let me go to this one and click light mode. So it'll be dark. There's a padding issue here, but we'll fix that. But yeah, so we're going to keep it dark even in light mode. So let's go down here. We'll make this smaller, and let's start off with this. So the container, let's do just a main container here. We want to move everything to the middle, so MX auto. And as far as padding goes, we'll do PX-5, and padding bottom we'll do 10. Okay, and then we want to create a flex container. So this is a flex container for all items because we want these to stack, right? We want them to stack on small screens and go in a row on medium screens and up. So same thing we've been doing through the whole course, just flex and then flex dash call and then alignment, which is going to be justify between. And then we'll do the space on the Y, which will be 24. And on medium screens, we're going to make it a flex row. And on medium screens, we're going to take the space off of the Y items. Okay, so now in here, we're going to have the email and phone. All right, so we'll say email, phone, then comes the menus, then comes the social. So here, let's do a class of MT, so margin top 10, and we'll say space Y6. And then we're going to have a flex box and move the items to the center. And we'll say space X3. And on medium screens, we're going to pull it up a little bit. So we're going to do negative margin 10. I'm sorry, MT10, so margin top. And then the image, so if we look at what we're doing here, we have the image of a phone and then the number and then an envelope and then the email. So the image I'm just going to wrap in W6, so that's the width. And then we'll put the image itself and we'll just do a scale here. Let's do scale 10. And that's going to be images / icon - phone. So let's take a look. Okay, so there's our phone. Let's see. Okay. So the next thing is going to be the email, which we can just copy this right here, this div. We'll just copy that down, but we're going to remove this negative margin top. And then let's change the icon to email. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the actual phone number. So right here underneath the W6 div, let's have a div with the actual phone number, which I'm just going to grab. All right, and then under this W6 div, let's say we'll do example at philo.com. Save that, and there we go. All right, so the next thing is going to be the menus. So for that, we're going to use flex and flex call on small screens, space Y10, and the text will do extra large. And then on medium screens, we'll do text base. So we'll make it a little smaller. And then on medium screens, we're also going to do space X20. And on medium screens, we want to remove the space on the Y, and we want to make it a flex row. So the menus are side by side. And then the menus themselves are going to have a div with the class of flex and also flex call, and then space dash Y dash 3. And then the items, so we'll just have a few items here, and about, jobs, press, and blog. All right, and then what we'll do is just copy this div down, and we're going to have one more menu with contact us, and this one will be terms, and this one will be privacy, and then we'll just get rid of that. All right, so there's our menu, and if I stretch it out, they'll be side by side. I know it's kind of annoying when I save. Sometimes it like scrolls me back up, so sorry for that. It's a live server thing. So now we want to do our social container, which is going to be pretty easy. So we're just going to make it a flex. We're going to justify center. Padding bottom will be 10 and space X3. Okay, and then we'll just split these into divs. So we'll have a div with link. Link doesn't have to go anywhere. And then the image. Image is going to have a class of padding 2. I'm going to give it a background of dark blue, and I want it to be like a circle, so we'll say rounded full, and then use our F icon class so we can add the overlay. And this is going to be images / Facebook. Okay, and then we can just grab this div right here, and we're just going to bring it down 2 more times. Second one, we'll do Twitter. And the last one we'll do Instagram. All right, so now if we make that bigger, it's going to look like that. And if we want that hover effect, we can just go to our input CSS. And same thing we've been doing with the other projects. I'm just going to paste it in. We're just using filter on the hover. And now we have these effects. All right, so that's it. Let's look at light mode. Looks good. Personally, oh yeah, we have to deal with this. So the text is, obviously we want that text to be white. So let's go to footer and let's say text - white. Okay, and then as far as the padding, let's try PT12. All right, so that looks good. And I like the dark mode better, definitely. But I like dark mode better on everything. I'm sure most of you guys do too. All right, so that's it. Let's move on to the next project.